What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I start this review, I want to say thank you across the board to my friends and my neighbors, to my YouTube subscribers and viewers and supporters, and all of my eBay customers. Across the board, you have all been fantastic. I mean, the amount of support that I've received in the past 2 weeks, ever since this tragedy happened with me, everybody's been so kind and so gracious. I've had, except for today, I guess everybody was busy doing their own thing. Wednesdays used to be the day we would all get together, but everybody's kind of like doing their own thing. Tomorrow's my birthday, April 17th. I turned 48. I don't think I'm going to do anything for my birthday. I'm too bummed out, to be honest with you. I'm probably just going to stay home and keep it quiet. You know, anybody that knows me personally knows I'm notorious for, you know, having get-togethers and sit-downs and all that, but this time that may be different because of what's going on behind the scenes. I'm too down to even want to try that. You know, I'm just not in the mood. I know it's a rotten shame when other people come into your life and they take everything and turn everything upside down and inside out. You know, it's disgusting. But when it comes to the channel and my eBay store, the show must go on, which is why I decided to do a very easy review. I didn't want to do anything too complicated. Check out my eBay store if you want to help to support the channel. I actually got some messages from some of my eBay customers if I was willing to release certain cards for sale over at my eBay store, and I have done so. So there's some new stuff up there already. So go check it out. I think I have 2 auctions that I just started today, and there's a couple auctions that should be ending, including a raw Paul Skeens yellow foil from Update from last year, so go check it out. So this is, or was, a project that I wanted to do over the years, but I just never got around to it, and quite frankly, I don't have the space for it, and I really don't want to clutter my apartment with stuff. I mean, I've got my Transformers shelf. Or actually, to be more specific, I have a bookshelf with Transformers and He-Man toys and other collectibles. And then on my wall behind me, I have all my Star Trek stuff. I really don't want to load up the walls. And this was a project that I was going to do so that this way these guys have their own separate shelf, but it just never came about. And I don't have the room to display these, except for this guy. I put this right on top of my PC. And I don't mean personal collection. I mean my computer. But anyway, what this is here is the Pegasus War of the Worlds war machine from the classic War of the Worlds movie. And this is by far one of my top 3 favorite sci-fi ships. Now, I've had this one for years, so there's a little bit of patina and some wear on it. Over the years, I found the second one for cheap, and they're going for insane prices these days, you know, if they're sealed like this one is. My intention was to get 3 of them because that's how they congregate or work together in the movie. You know, they work in groups of 3s. So I wanted to have 3 of these side by side, like what I did with my Katinga class Klingon battle cruisers from Eagle Moss. But again, because of lack of space, I ended up selling off 2 of them, and I kept 1 for my personal collection. So that's up on my Star Trek shelf. Maybe one day, you know, if something changes, I'll have a place to display these properly. But for right now, the one I've had for years is the one that I have right here in my living room on top of my personal computer. But at least I have the box to show you with a sealed example, and then we'll take a look at the open one that I've had for all these years. And forgive me, this thing's a little dusty. So, and also forgive the mess in the kitchen. You know, I did a little food shopping today, so there's still a lot of organizing I got to do here. But so this is the War of the Worlds war machine from the classic sci-fi movie. It's been one of my most favorite sci-fi movies next to Star Trek. Well, that depends on which universe we're talking about here. And I'm talking about the Prime universe, like, you know, the motion picture, the Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, etc., etc. So, and a big shout out to my father, too, because my father's a big sci-fi guy. He grew up in this era. And I never really appreciated, you know, sci-fi or war movies or anything like that from when he was growing up. And over time, as I got to respect it, especially with all the autism that's up on up on the movie screens, like I can't stand the Michael Bay Transformers. The Marvel movies I'm completely burnt out, and don't even get me started about Star Wars with their pronouns and it, what, who, you know what. I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, yeah, I've really learned to appreciate the old school stuff. So I've always wanted one of these since I was a kid. I used to make them out of Play-Doh and matchsticks and all that kind of thing. And when they came out with this, I knew I had to have it. But like I said, over the years, unfortunately, I never really had the opportunity to display three of them side by side. So at least with this guy, you get to see the box, you know. So the box is a little beat up and dusty, but I think you get the idea of what this thing looks like if you were to get it new in box. I'm sure at this point in time that, you know, I guess my fellow eBay sellers or mom and pop shops, if they have these, are going to be pretty dinged up and all that sort of thing. So that doesn't bother me. What matters to me is what's inside. But again, I've had this guy sealed, you know, for all this time because I already had this guy here for my personal display. And we're going to take out this War Machine right here. Now, mind you, again, this does have some patina on it because how many years old is this thing? Let me see if I can find a date on this. 2008. That's when this was released. So it is a few years old. So here is the War Machine. It's the exact same one. It's the pre-built chromed model. Now, up on top, unfortunately, over the years, the chrome has kind of faded a little bit. You'll see that on this particular ship. Hey, look at me. Oh my God, my hair is all unkempt. I can actually see my reflection there. Oh yeah, that's my, what do you call it there? The baseball bunch retro jersey I'm wearing today. But anyway, that's the War Machine in and of itself. The Cobra head does swivel, but there's no electronics or anything like that. But there are plenty of videos of guys that have either, I guess, taken this thing apart and wired it up. Pegasus does have a model kit that you can put together yourself and put the electronics on. The electronics are readily available on eBay. Oh my goodness, look at how shiny that is. Whoa, look at how distorted I am. But if you know the movie, this thing had invisible legs, basically, so it really didn't fly. It just kind of floated along. And that little hatch opened up at the end of the movie and exposed the aliens' tri-fingers, you know, when they were starting to die because of the germs and all of that kind of thing. And it made that really, really horrific sound. I can't imagine what it must have been like to watch this movie or any of those sci-fi movies back in the days, because don't forget, their technology back then was way primitive compared to what we have now. You know, especially with CGI here, you can see some of the patina that this particular ship has, which I don't mind as a display piece. That one, like I said, is still new in box, so it's nice and shiny, but I mean, this really does this ship justice. I mean, it is so accurate to what we see in that movie. And if you're around my age, if you were born, you know, like in the 60s and 70s and stuff like that, or, you know, if you were around at that time, they did come out with a War of the Worlds series. The season 1 was directly related to the movie itself with Dr. Forrester and whatnot. The second season, oh man, did it leave a lot to be desired. It was just all over the place. It was just a mess. So, but you actually got a chance to see these War Machines in some of those episodes. And there was actually an episode where you saw an actual tripod. It was this machine here without the Cobra neck, and it had 3 mechanical legs. I can't remember what the name of the episode is. You can probably find clips of that here on YouTube. But the display stand looks absolutely beautiful. Look at this. And you can tell, I believe this is hand-painted, because if you look at this one, the details are slightly different than the one I have here. I mean, you really have to do a side-by-side comparison, but I'm going to assume that this was hand-painted. But, again, I mean, I don't recommend anybody touching it like I do. If you're going to clean this thing, use a dry microfiber or something like that, because you might potentially have what happened with mine with the patina or the chroming. You know, mine is faded, so You can actually see some of that right there in this section in particular. So, that, like I said, that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's not like I'm running around my apartment going, pew, 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 I kill you. No, I don't do that sort of thing. I'm not an overgrown child that way. But, yeah, like I said, this thing is just absolutely remarkable. If you're able to get one of these at a decent price, I highly recommend it. I mean, this thing is just as classic as like an X-Wing fighter or the USS Enterprise, the Connie or the Constitution class from back in the days. I mean, it is that classic. This ship, to me, is by far one of my favorite sci-fi ships. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Pegasus War of the Worlds War Machine pre-built model. And that's all I have to say. So thank you again, everybody, for your support, your kind words. If you haven't done so already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications, and check out my eBay store. The link is always in the description box below. And that's it. So until next time, everybody, God bless, stay safe, take care, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye now.